Hello, everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTrain.tv, where every day, especially Wednesday today, every day is a great day to learn about the Claris FileMaker platform. So, Vince Menanno, are you there?
Yes, sir.
He is there. He is there. He's ready to go. Cool. Well, today, Margaret, can you bring up, show your screen, bring up the broadcast schedule real quick?
Oh, yes.
This upcoming broadcast schedule brought to you by Margaret, who's a broadcast engineer. Today is day 2 of Inspector Pro 9, a free database. I don't know what we call it, database developer
analysis.
And it gives you insightful insights. I'm not sure that's good English. Insightful insights into your FileMaker solution to let you know you or your team is doing good work. It even has a snitch feature that when people build bad code, it will send emails to your boss. Apparently, we saw that chart yesterday. So if the chart shows lots of breakage and stuff like that, it has an auto feature to notify the boss that you've been a bad developer. So you may not want to use it if you want to keep your job and you drink and code at the same time. That could be a problem. All right, Vince and Alex, you guys are cleared hot, as we say, cleared to target.
All right. Where do you want to start? So
show us amazing. Let's
talk. Let's segue from yesterday. So yesterday, off at this, right? I don't know if you see my screen.
Oh, yes.
Okay, back up. Stop. So, this is like raw. This is no grease here. This is not good at all. So if you see this is raw, not good. If you see,
I just wanted to bring the pain back for people who might not have seen it yesterday. So I mean, I give a lot of talks about technical debt and how to, improve systems and move them forward, etc. And if you've got a system like this, I like to refer to this as not technical debt, but technical death, because you don't get anything done. It's just going to be. It's just going to be painful. And
lack of grease.
Unfortunately, again, I can fast forward this for the benefit of those who've never seen it. But again, this is where you just keep going and going and going, and you never refactor, you never take any new improvements in the platform and make them into better code. So definitely a thing you shouldn't do. So saying that, one of the big features that we added to Inspector 9 is the ability to integrate with Git. And for those of you who don't know Git, Git is I'll let Alec take it over from here because he's the lead, architect of this, and so I'll let him explain it. And if you want to have me share my screen, or you can share your screen, Alec, however you want to do it.
So yeah, I'm gonna basically this is a live demo, which is dumb, but it's essentially gonna do a little bit of Git introduction and a little bit of config for Git and Inspector Pro, and then a little use case of just, it's dipping into the sort of stuff you can do if you do take the time to integrate your Inspector Pro solution with Git. It may go wrong, but we'll get through it. You got me. Okay, so I'm going to start in Git. And I'm starting in Git because you'll need a Git account to use the GitHub integration. There is an integration with GitLab, but I'm not going to show that today. But just get in touch. If you use GitLab, it works the same. GitHub is way more popular though. This will work. This integration works with a free GitHub personal account. It'll also work with a GitHub organization, which I think is only a paid plan. It will also work with a hosted enterprise Git solution. So all flavors of Git can join.
Real quick, not to drag you into the weeds, but what exactly is Git for a lot of the FileMaker developers who probably have not needed to use it?
So, and Margaret's never used it, so yeah.
I'm vaguely aware of it as a concept, as like a collection of tech things you can go download if you need them, but not the finer details.
Yeah, so Git itself is a open source version control application. It essentially was designed for huge projects like Linux and other huge applications, and it was how you manage all the versions of code that you have. It works with plain text code, though, so it's not traditionally used in the FileMaker space. It doesn't work with FileMaker files because FileMaker files are encoded binary. So you can safely ignore it for most of your FileMaker development, but what is not encoded is all the data in Inspector Pro, right? You have all the information about your scripts, about basically everything. So we can use that text information in a version control system, not in a conventional way, but in a way where it's useful. So don't think of this as I have to learn version control software from the ground up. It's more just leveraging some features of version control, and specifically the website GitHub or GitLab to view extra insights about your FileMaker solution. So it's not going to have to change the way you develop. It's just really we're using it as a UI to view comparisons and attribution for various changes that you make in the database. So I'm not going to go through the GitHub account setup because it's really easy. You literally just go to github.com and sign up. You can sign up in various ways. So let's assume you've done that. And then once you're in GitHub, you can go to your avatar and go to settings, and that will get you to your profile. And this is where you generate something called a token, personal access token, which will allow you to leverage this website essentially in Inspector Pro. So
okay, like an API integration kind of.
It is exactly that. Yep, under the hood, we are talking to the GitHub API or the GitLab API sometimes. So what we're going to do now is basically get or generate a special token, which we can use to
I guess identify
Inspector and Git.
Yeah, identify yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I believe I can pause the share whilst I generate my token. You're not going to see my token, but just trust that it has been generated. It'll be short-lived anyway because I can set it up like that, but let me go into the details of that now. So I'm in my profile. I scroll all the way down to developer settings, right at the bottom, right on its own. Click it. Doesn't get any simpler, unfortunately. You then have to go to the sub menu and the personal access tokens. So there are two types of token. We are classic. Tokens classic is what you want. And then you will see, nice and secure, your existing tokens. Now, the great thing about tokens are, once you generate them, Git doesn't actually need to know what they are exactly, so it doesn't have to store them. We do have to store them. So I'm going to go ahead and generate a new token, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. So again, you have to make sure you say classic. That's what we care about. Generate new token, classic. It's going to ask me to log in, so let me just pause the share a second and get myself in.
No problem. The nature of 2FA.
Yeah. Well, I can actually, I think, use my password. So let's see. It lets me do that. It did. Great. Okay, I'm going to come back in with the share. Great. Okay, so 3 things you need to pay attention to here. The first is the name. The name is not important. It's just for your own your own identification. It's just like a label. So I can call this anything. I'll just call it RCC autocorrect RCC demo 2 because I already created one earlier. And the second thing you need to pay attention to is expiration. The smart thing to do is expire your tokens and refresh them. But really, no expiration is much easier. Just keep it secure. That way you don't have a situation where your token stops working. So no expiration is fine. But look, it's going to tell you off, but it doesn't matter. Just be secure with your tokens. The next thing to check are the scopes. The scopes are repo. It selects all the sub ones for you, so super easy. The next one is user. And the final one is delete.
Okay, so you need repo, user, and delete to be enabled.
Exactly, that's right. Okay, now I am going to generate the token, but I'm going to pause the share for a moment because I can't remember exactly what happens, but just trust me that I'm pressing that green generate token button. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to do something sneaky, which is obfuscate the token because I'm not actually going to use it. And then I'm going to come back. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter because I can just delete it. So there you go. So it shows up like this. You have my token. Lucky you, but oh dear, it's gone. So yeah, there it is. Yes. So yeah, that's how you get taken. If you were smart, you would copy that and put it in your password manager, so it's safe. Great. So that is on the GitHub side. That's like the big lift, shall we say, that you have to do. And it's not that big a lift. It's just a process that you'll get used to. And depending on how like keen you are on granularity, you may just be able to use one token for everything in Inspector. So pretty low level of effort required. So now you have done that, we can skip forward to, if you give me 1 second, and I will something I need to grab. Cool. Okay, so now I'm going to hide Safari and I'm going to go back to FileMaker and I'm going to go back to Inspector and I'm going to add modify a user in Inspector and I'm basically going to put my token into this field that is a GitHub token. This is the simplest way to do it. There are various fallbacks that allow you to do a token for each solution, a token for each member of a solution. The safest way to get started is just have a user token. There'll be situations where you want more than one, but generally the simple path is just to have one in your user record. There it is. That's all you need to do in users. So now you'll see we have FileMaker solution, but we don't have anything in Inspector. So let's create this solution in Inspector. We'll give it a name. That doesn't look weird. And we will give it a file name. And we will enable the Git integration. So here is where you need to pay a bit of attention. We're just going to do a personal project, not an organization. Works perfectly well with organizations. So here would be your GitHub username or your organization name. So essentially the owner of this. Put in that, mine's Alec Gregory, then the name of the GitHub repo. You can use, basically you can't use many things. So usually just letters and dashes. So let's do, and the main thing is don't use a name you already have because it won't work. So it's local to this. So if you already have a repo called this, it's not going to work. Anything else using, it's fairly permissive. It's fairly smart, GitHub, but it will not allow you to have two repos of the same name.
Got it.
You will see that, I have to pause again because my token's gone missing. We are going to put in a solution level token. This is required basically as, again, a fallback. If all the user tokens and all the other tokens don't work, we still want to integrate. We still want to push to Git. So we just say, use this like fallback token as
Okay.
a fallback. There are some
Would
subtleties about why that might not be absolutely optimal, but it's just make sure that things get pushed to Git even when the optimal path is not followed.
okay. And so that for that like secondary token, would that be the same as the one that you attach to your user, or would that be a different one that you generate for that purpose?
Same one in
Okay.
almost all cases. Same one. Great. Okay. Let's see if I screwed anything up. So create. All right. And it didn't complain. So that's a good start. So there we are. There's our solution in Inspector. You'll see it has an ID. I need that to link the solution here to this. But first I'm going to set up members in this solution. I don't need to do much. I'm already added because I created the solution. And this is, obviously we had the user record, but this is me, a user, as part of this particular file. So that's why that's there. I'm not going to put in a personal access token. I've already done that for me. All I'm going to do, and this is fairly important, is put in my account. So these are my FileMaker accounts that I use to edit this solution.
Oh, okay. So whatever full access account you're using. Okay.
Exactly. And because this often goes right back to the very beginning of the file, almost always you'll want to give someone responsibility for the admin account, because some things are created with admin and you can't change that. They'll always be there as admin. So someone has to take that hit. And then you would put in your other account. But don't forget, like any OAuth accounts, which might be identified by email address, you might want to put those in as well.
Oh, okay.
There's no limit. It doesn't matter if you miss any out. Stuff should still be pushed to Git. This is just to kind of make the attribution as accurate as possible. So
Got it.
as has been alluded to, you know who to credit or blame for what you've done. So yeah, not much to do on the user side, just on the member side, just set that up. And yeah, we can go ahead with that. So next, I'm just going to set up my integration here. Not much to do here, I don't think, just setting that up. I never remember about the settings here. No, that's set up okay, I think. So 16, that's good. Okay, so at this point, we can run an analysis. So we'll go ahead and hopefully that will work. Let's go ahead. Okay, so inspector's working. Well done, Vince. And Git claims to be working. Although it's doing a lot of commits, 3 commits, not bad. Great. So we're happy. Inspector's happy.
Nice.
So
nice,
now,
nice.
in theory, it's kind of like exciting because we haven't seen with our eyes that anything is in Git. So this is the moment of truth.
Okay.
So I will double click to view my analysis. And then this will show you like where are your touch points with Git in Inspector. Luckily, it's very simple. It's basically the same touch point for everything. So let's look at something. Is there anything in this minimal solution that will be simple? Maybe table. Let's hope so anyway. So if I go to table, you'll see we've got 2 tables. And look, here is a little icon for Git. If it's GitLab, you'll get the fox. Fun fact. But this is the Octocat. Or is this the cat? This kind of looks like a cat. But the Octocat is the guy for GitHub.
I like the little blame button.
I like that. That's great. I told people about that. They thought I was kidding.
Yeah, and this is not even Vince's idea. This is a real Git concept. So grown-up software developers love to blame people. So I'm going to start nice and neutral with current, and this is really where we're like, is this going to work? Let's hope it does. Did. Amazing. This is all live. So
Woo!
happy times. It is kind of boring, but it is what it is. So this is basically saying for this table, and you'll see there's some wackiness here, which is why you really want to view this from within Inspector rather than the Git UI in a lot of cases, because you're not going to be able to navigate here. But it's saying we sell artwork. We sell art.
Yeah.
You're in the table area, and the table is called artwork. So we give you as much info as possible in this header. So keep an eye on that.
It's good to pause here for just a second, Alec, because you don't have to navigate to Git. You're within FileMaker. So this is a web viewer. There's a kind of a great way to expose the Git functionality directly within FileMaker for this component. So like I'm looking at this table, right? And I see the details of this table. This is a simple example. But if Alec were to make a change to this table, the artwork table, and let's say add a comment and then run the analysis, you would see that commit show up with the latest for this current state. And then you'll be able to also see a blame view and also the history of changes.
We'll get there. We will get there.
But I just wanted to point out to people that you don't have to go to another website to see this.
Okay,
this
it was not clear to me that was a web viewer. It looked so giddy.
Slick.
Yeah.
Slick.
No, this looks awesome. So
questions, Margaret, in flight, because Alex is going to keep going. Keep trucking now. But
I'm sure you have a lot to cover, but Vince mentioned, because I asked the other day, like, is there a way to see old value lists if you make the mistake of deleting them, for example, and you want the same exact values in the list? And he mentioned there'd be a way to do it through Git.
I mean, probably yes, but not directly through this UI. So that would be something you could do through Git itself for deleted stuff. So deleted stuff is special in Inspector and special in Git, as in it will be gone from the current state. So if you think about Git and Inspector are both about current state, the bonus thing about Git is that it also has every single previous state as well, if you want to go there. So deleted things are definitely a special case. You could find it if you knew roughly when you deleted it. And even if you didn't, you could just keep going back until you found it. And that is something, one of the things, like you could do it from here. Like this is just a web viewer. You can go rogue here and just click around and treat this as a browser. Eventually you'll run out of road because you don't have any of the Chrome that a browser has, right? You don't have the address bar or anything like that. But yeah, you can get there. And yeah, that's something you might want to do in the web UI. But the other great thing about Git is it's totally searchable. You can search in a very precise way across commits, across repos. So if you just knew the name of the value list, chances are you'd find it with a search.
Ooh, that's nice.
But that's definitely like intermediate to advanced territory. But the key things that have come out there is that like Git is just searchable. So all this text is searchable in a way that, you can search the history, which obviously in Inspector's just not going to be as performant because, Git is designed for huge amounts of text in a way FileMaker just isn't. And you can always go rogue in this interface as well, or you can just log into Git in Safari like we have and see things from that perspective as well.
No, that's really awesome. Actually, I could think of a lot of cases where I'd want to go searching for things like, wait, what was that called? Yeah. We have a quick question. Does this work with externally authenticated accounts?
Externally authenticated accounts.
Inspector.
I think if you're saying, can you link an externally authenticated account to a Git person, like as in you've set up Google or FileMaker database, then yes, you just have to, I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back here. You just have to get the membership right. So here, if I am like using Google authentication and this is my login. I don't know how Google OAuth works, but yes, that will work. It'll find all your changes made with your externally authenticated account if you were to do that. So it's all about this solution accounts thing. Even if you don't put it in, the changes will be tracked. They'll just be attributed to someone kind of random called it'll try and sort of make up a name for the person who committed it, just so you know roughly what was going on. But it's best if you can link it to your actual Git user. Hopefully that was the question. I know maybe that meant something else. So if the person who asked it wants to clarify that.
Yes, they're typing. Again. So we'll either learn whether you. Yep, nope. That answered their question. So you nailed it. There you go.
Nice. Got it in one. Brilliant. So
let's go ahead and make some changes.
Yeah. So I have a few. I have a loose script. But yeah, the first thing is to make a basic change. It's going to be a very boring change because I do just want to stay where we are for simplicity. So why don't can I really add a comment to a table now? That's exciting.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I think that was added for the AI shenanigans, yeah?
Oh, that's exciting. So that's a nice low impact change to make. I hope it works though. Like that's a newer thing. So now I want to show two things actually. I want to show that the change shows ideally, and that I want to show how this comment can be leveraged. So this comment, I'm going to show you something a little cooler if there's time about what you can do with the comment. But first, I just want to show you that it can be leveraged at all in Git. So you can say like added a comment to artwork table. This is something that is kind of works with Git. If you can think in a kind of feature or fix level, you can run inspector like every time you do something that is, worth describing. So maybe you do 5 things, you describe them as one thing. That's a solid commit. I've done one thing. It's pretty spurious, but this is a demo. So this is my comment that sits in inspector, but hopefully once this runs, it will also show in. Yes. Okay. So it's gone to Git. It's pretty quick in general. This is what Git calls the commit message. Commit messages are required in Git. So if you don't enter one, we just take the analysis number and send that as the commit message. So we'll say analysis 24 or whatever.
Got it. Okay.
But I have said what I've done. Now, the power of this, and this is an inspector thing, is like you can have a bunch of changes and group them under the same comment. So in that way, you're like saying purposefully, I've made 6 changes in scripts, calculations, tables, but I'm grouping them, right? You're being intentional development, I guess you can call it, right? You're being extra helpful to yourself and others. And there you go. You see it's table comment. So I'll go through some of the other views here. Let me see. I'll leverage this. So if we look at blame view is really cool. It's kind of hard to demo, but what it does is it takes the current state and each line gets assigned to a person and a commit. So these 4 lines, the blame was me 10 minutes ago. This line is the blame, the current blame was 1 minute ago. So it's really cool. It looks much better when you've got something real. Like you'll see a script being updated over time, but it still looks nice now. So you have that. And then the history view is probably the coolest one, just about. So you see here, history will just show you what's happened to the file.
Oh, you get a timeline.
Yeah, so that's one thing. That's just cool on its own. But you can also get comparison with this funky interface, which we get for free. Git have done this for us. And then, yeah, and it's pretty neat. You'll see like it's smart. So it's saying this line got deleted, but it's also saying it came back. And then in the end, really only this was changed. So it's like a nice, people have spent loads of time because GitHub is a huge product owned by Microsoft. They've done all this for us, so we can just leverage it. We don't have to sweat designing this experience. So there you go.
There's a stacked view as well. So you can choose whether you want it side by side. I think in the 3 dots on the right there. No, sorry, the gear.
These guys?
It's the gear.
The gear.
So you can have unified view, and the unified puts it one on top of the other.
That's super cool.
Yeah. But the other thing that's cool about it is like Alec could write, like on the far right there's a little arrow, and he could type a message, right? So he can add a comment into this commit, and he can mention me. Let's say I'm a member of this project, right? And he could mention me and saying, "Are you sure this is the right comment for the LLM for this table?" Right? And we can have a conversation just about this change in code, right? And this is
nice.
this is all Get doing this. This is none of it is FileMaker, but you're all inside FileMaker doing this. So
that's extremely cool.
Yeah. So it gets really interesting when you look at a script and you have all the steps of the script, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is you have different people making different changes on the script. And let's say a script for an API, and something all of a sudden it doesn't work, right? So you can go into the blame view and see like, oh, Alec or Steve or somebody made a change to the parameters that are sent to the token. Okay, so that was a recent change. So and then again from the terminology that Get uses, you can blame Steve for making that change, or someone, because it will show up with that name on that step. Well, it'll say it'll give you it reconstitutes the whole script, and then it shows all the different contributors that made it to that current state. So so it's really great. It's a powerful tool.
This is really cool because it means that I can do so much before I have to go bother my server guy to give me a backup if I need to like retroactively drag it back into the past.
Well, you can find out when you have to blame yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of projects people. Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to say you can cover your tracks if it was you, and be very loud about it if it was someone else.
Well, a lot of people work on their own projects by themselves, and sometimes it's very useful to find out, when you were last smoking crack and what did you do to break something, and there's a lot of value in that. I mean, I understand the blame thing is kind of a joke, but it's serious. But at the same time, for me, I started a project, and then along the way, Margaret got added to it. And pretty much, I mean, I'm not going to jump on her case too much if she makes a mistake, because she's kind of an intermediate person. That being said, it's nice to know when something went off the rails, right? Because you have a problem, you have this accident investigation, like why was there insufficient grease on Vince's tool? And if there's an accident, why did it happen, and when and why, and all that, and then restore it if you have to, right? So that's even better, right?
No, because then you have to begin guessing for restores sometimes. Like,
this removes the guessing. I think this makes it less guessing and more,
authoritatively, this happened here.
Ooh, authoritative.
It's like it's your black box, isn't it? It's your flight recorder.
Yeah. It's authoritative greasing is what it is of Vince's tool. So there you go. Nice.
This is super cool, though. I love this.
So there's one more thing I want to try and show about the integration that you can do. Some people will instantly understand what's going on. Other people will not have seen Git issues before. But yeah, it'll take about 30 seconds of setup. So let me do that quickly. So I am going to go into the realm of scripting, and I'm going to have a cool startup script.
Yep.
And it's gonna do something dumb.
You could just copy
Rename.
some code from one of the other scripts, Alec.
I could do that. I could, but I have my own. I have my own approach. Like I've practiced
Okay.
this, so I
Okay,
can't.
good.
I can't optimize anymore. I'm afraid, but this is my cool startup script. Don't look too hard at this script, please. And then I'm going to assign it to first window open, startup.
Yep.
Everyone is happy, especially me. So I am going to mention that I've done this. I'm going to say added, startup script, show account name, and then I'm going to run. Looks like with that. So let me now go to scripts. I don't want to have too many windows, so I'll reuse this one. I'll go to scripts and I'll go to startup. And I'll be like, cool. Just pretend I'm now someone else who's a good developer instead of me before when I was a bad developer just then. So we'll go to current and we'll look at this script. And then we're like, what? It is not doing that. It is actually showing the user count. Now, that's one way to look at it. I've kind of cheated. Really, how you would find that out is you would open it and it would do the wrong thing. But I've just short-circuited that. But just imagine you're then like, okay, I want to complain about this. Now, Git Hub has something called issues, which are pretty cool. It's just ticketing, but it's like developer-focused ticketing. They'll say, window name is wrong. It's meant to show account name, but it shows number instead. I'll assign myself, it doesn't matter, but I will, and I'll say this is very much a bug. So there we go. And I'll create it. And something I'm going to look at is this, number one. Just remember that. Okay. So now imagine that other me, bad developer me, gets this issue assigned to them, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to get it right this time. But also, I'm going to handle this issue at the same time. So how do we do that? We close this, we fix it. That's the most important thing. Hooray. Fix, and now, but I'm like, I don't want to go in and manually handle that issue. So I'm going to say, window name now shows account name. And then I can say fixes number one.
Will it automatically resolve?
Will it? That's the question. Let's see. Is it done? That one,
yeah,
it says 9:59, so I guess it's done. Let's see. So who knows where my Safari window is now? So, oh, this is looking good already, though. It's correct. And this looks suspiciously like a link. It is a link.
That's super cool. I love that. That's awesome.
Go. Close. So
wow.
So this is potentially, right, if you are brave, you can manage your ticketing through this same repo, and people can reference these things. And this, again, is a Git feature, GitHub feature. You didn't have to pay for this feature. It's just in there. We're leveraging it. You don't really need to know about Git, but if you know you want to track issues, then Git is actually a pretty solid issue tracker. You can assign multiple people. You can have all these kind of grouping mechanisms. It's pretty solid. So yeah, that's another thing you can do along with the comments. Vince has gave me a token that is not working. Otherwise, he would have showed up as someone I could have commented to in this. But yeah, it works best with collaboration, but I think I've rinsed about as much out of it as I can with just one kind of multifaceted developer. But I think we're all a different person on different days, so it's not too unrealistic. And yeah, there is another little trick. But yeah, so what is missing here, what we're not seeing is, like, as Vince said, like the evolution of scripts over a long time with a lot of developers involved with big refactoring. For example, this could cut through the noise of that and give you, you know, a very granular view into that. And yeah, you know, the setup there is set up. You do have to learn this new website to some degree. You have to make sure your token's right. You know, things have to be just so, because, you know, it'll either work or it won't. But the payoff is pretty obvious, and it does. You know, we've been using this on large, medium, small solutions, and it is, you know, it gets you quite a long way for not much effort.
Yeah, it gives your database very extensive documentation, which is really nice. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's all I had prepared. Happy to take questions, or Vince, if you want to point me at something else, feel free.
No, I think it's great. Let's see.
I have questions then that I am sitting on, like a dragon on like a board.
Roger, go for questions over. We need to grease the landing over.
Are there any cases where linking the GitHub repository to VS Code would be useful?
Yes, yeah. I mean, yes. If you like using VS Code, you know, it's not XML because it's our text representation. So what you get is text, but yeah, VS Code is a great general purpose tool. So if you want to do like global search within VS Code, that's totally something you could do. What I would caution against is for large, not caution against, but just say, is that for large solutions, the code can be extensive, especially with layouts, like a particular layout with the CSS, they can be megabytes, and Git doesn't do great with huge files. And neither does VS Code, but it can manage them. But just bear that in mind. You know, if you have a file that as a clone is a gigabyte, then, you know, you're going to be having a roughly similar amount of data in your VS Code that you're downloading from the internet. But yeah, that's a great tool. VS Code can do file comparison natively or with extensions. It can do a load of stuff. So yeah, we haven't done that, or I haven't done that, but yeah, that's a totally valid thing to do.
So this is a question from yesterday, Vince. I'm going to pop this one at you. Can you show the steps to use Inspector Pro on a local file, and then how you'd run it again in like a week or so to capture the history? Like, if you don't, so if you don't have it hosted on a server, you want to know if you can use Inspector Pro on local files?
Yeah, so if you run it on local files, all you would do is there's 3 integration methods. Let me share my screen. Okay, so on this interface, this is this solution. You would use the integration button, and it would have manual upload, integration, and window names. And so you could do a couple things. You could pre-generate the XML and then put it in a folder if you got multiple files. And then just say, and then when you run it, it'll ask you for that folder, that directory. And then when you choose that directory, it'll grab all the XML files in there and process them. So this is local. It runs local. So you don't have to host it. You can just run it locally. The other option is you're lazy and you don't want to even generate the XML files. Just put in the window names. The list of files here, every window name for every file that you have open currently with full access. And that it will generate the XML for all those window names as long as they're open with full access. It'll put them all in one place and then it'll process them.
You're
So
kidding.
those are two methods. No, I'm not kidding you.
That's
Uh,
funny. Okay, I might have to try that one just for funsies because that's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's one way sometimes if you're just developing on a small file locally
Mm.
and you don't want to even bother hosting it on the server, you have the file open locally. You just say, okay, I'm just testing a few things out. You put in the window name here of the file that's open locally. It will generate the XML locally and send it to the server if it's hosted and process it on the server. So you're not taking full advantage of the benefit of the fact that it's on the server and it generates on the server and processes on the server. That's where you want to use this option, right? But otherwise, yeah, you would.
All right. So Vince,
Mhm.
I'm gonna blow up the conversation here. So along with
Okay.
this, so I have now decided to use your product after coming on the show. I am now I have a solution on a FileMaker server. I
Okay.
downloaded to your website. It's on my desktop in a folder called Inspector Pro 9. My FileMaker file is on a FileMaker server. The customers access it remotely. I access it remotely. Where does Inspector Pro 9 go? It goes on the server or it goes locally on my computer? Where does it go?
First off, you're using FileMaker 2025, right? 2022.
Yeah, the one called 22 that's made in
Yeah, it's
2025.
22. Yeah,
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 that
that's
one.
made in 20. Yeah, that one. So you need that because there's a lot of fixes in that release
Okay.
that this requires, and you can't open it without it.
Okay.
Make sure that on the server you are allowing the plugins to get auto installed. So you need to turn that on, right?
Are you doing
Uh,
this on your computer right now?
I am right now.
Do you
it's
want to
So,
like, okay.
share your screen so Vince can walk you through it?
Uh,
yeah, probably,
well,
maybe.
I
Uh,
mean, there's a couple of other things, Richard. There's a couple of other things I wanna talk about before we wrap up. I don't
okay,
know how
that's
much
fine.
longer
Okay,
you
well
want to
then, but
go.
no, you can go as long as you want. People are going to probably vomit and barf and leave the live stream, but we are being truthful and honest, and I am attempting to use your product. So you keep going, and
Okay.
then I'll interrupt when your shit explodes. Okay, how about that?
All right. All right. So let me share one other thing that I think it's really important to mention. So when they released, which was it, 21, they
Mm-hmm.
added some AI. They added some AI features, which at the last minute we ended up adding the ability to generate a script summary. And so if you in Inspector and you create a new solution, you can turn on enable AI script summary. And this will allow you to generate script summaries and it will allow you to also search your script semantically, right?
Woo!
So once it has the summary, it then generates an embedding based on that summary. And then you can search your script semantically, meaning I don't have a good example, but let's say a login or authentication might be considered similar words, right? So you can say,
Mm-hmm.
show me scripts that deal with authentication. And then it would find all scripts that have like some kind of authentication or login text in them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, but it's really cool when you inherit a solution and you haven't worked on a solution in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When you look, so there's a script here that has 30 steps, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
and here's a detailed script summary. This script first checks if the user has full access privileges and a specific key combination pressed to run a particular script. It then freezes the window to prevent flicker, goes to specific layout, shows all records, enters browse mode, loops through each record, et cetera, et cetera. I have copied that script to the clipboard and I just want to show it to you here. So here's that script, right? So basically this is a textual representation of the script. And
Mm-hmm.
here's the summary that was generated by AI. Okay, so this is a short script, right? This is 30 steps, but you could, imagine a script that's got 214 steps And I don't know what that script does, so I can ask it to generate a script summary for that script. And if you turn on the AI features, the script summaries are generated once you run the processing. Yeah, I only turned it on afterwards, so that's why I'm generating it now. And so this script is a lot longer. It talks about what it does, etc. But imagine you have some system you've inherited. It's nice to read a short paragraph of text to tell you what the script is doing, right? And even if you haven't used the solution in a while, getting reacclimated with the solution,
Oh no, this is
sometimes reading,
fantastic.
yeah. So that's AI at work.
No, that's awesome.
So,
I can already think of many scripts that would be really good for in BVA.
yeah, and just to show you the example that Alec was referring to, but in the context of a script, here's a blame view of this script where I made some
Oh my
changes.
gosh.
Right. So here's the whole script reconstituted. Right. So here's the script as it is right now. Right. All the steps, but it's broken down by different people who've made changes along the way. So yesterday, Alec made these changes. Then an hour ago, I made this change. And then 8 minutes ago, I made this change. Right. So as
But
you see,
you're seeing the whole thing through all the code, all the lines of code are there. It's all
It's in
threaded.
order.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. That's the
What view is that called, Margaret? What is
It's
this?
called
This
the
is-
blame
this-
view.
the blame
Of
view.
course, right? The inflammatory view, the passive aggressive, micro aggression thing.
This
Okay,
is
great.
super
Yeah.
cool. I love this. This might
Yeah.
be one of my favorite features I've seen.
Yeah.
This is
Hey,
really
so where do
cool.
you turn on the server? We're in the FileMaker server. I'm on server 20. What am I server am I on? I'm on. Do I have to be on? I think I'm on
Connectors.
21 server. Do I need?
No, you
Oh,
have to be on 22. You have to be on 22.
Do I have to update the server and the client both?
No,
Yeah.
the client
Well-
wouldn't matter so much, but then you can't open Inspector unless you're on 22. So
Okay, my client,
but
okay, back up.
actually,
Yeah, both need to be 22, right?
both need to. Actually, you're right. Both need to be 22. So-
well, then never mind. Can't use your shit until we do the server.
Just
update.
update to 22.
Yeah, right. I'm going to blow it in tiny little bits. There'll be an explosion. Pieces will come off and shit. We do not blow up. Oh, Vince. Okay, I'm going to call my IT guys on vacation.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going
That's
to
the actual issue.
and
He's
I'm
on
going to press the
vacation.
button, and then
Yeah.
it'll be like, "Oh, sorry, your server can't be updated."
I mean, I think that I posted the YouTube thing that I did for Dig FM.
Yes.
And that's like, I think over 2 hours, but there's a lot of stuff we haven't covered, I mean, we're just scratching the surface. I think the most powerful thing obviously is the Git integration. But there's a lot of other features that are worth mentioning. And if people want to go look at that video, for example, there's actions and notifications. So let me just show you a quick thing about that, and then we'll probably pause it there. But actions and notifications are really cool. So let's say this script is my API script, okay, and I wanna, and I'm responsible for the integration, right? So I can say I want to set up. I'm going to click this little bell icon here. I'll say when the selected record, right, or I could have a found set of scripts that are RL API scripts. I can say this selected record, show list of our artists, test new script. I want to get notified when it's modified. So if anything changes with regards to this script, send me a Slack message telling me that it got changed. Okay, and I'm going to create that, and then what happens is someone comes along. Okay, this is the really powerful capability of this. Someone comes along, and they don't change the script specifically. They don't go to change the script specifically, but they delete, let's say, a component. They delete this layout that this script depends on, right? Because it's an indirect change to the script that's the script depended on. That will also pick up the fact that this script was indirectly modified by some other stupid change that someone else made, right? And
Okay.
so you'll get a notification that, hey, looks like your script got
So this
tampered
has
with.
blame with push notifications to the boss is what it has.
Yeah.
I when I said that earlier, I was joking. I did not realize that that's actually what you had. So it's
Well, yeah, like I said, there's a lot to this. And then if you want to take it a step further at a high level, you can just say, hey, I've got a system on production and I want to create a notification when the file has been modified in any way, in any file or this file, if you've got multiple files in any file, right? So what happens is, let's say you set up, let's say you have the inspector on a production server and it runs an analysis every day at night at some point. And the client says, hey, I have the full access password. I paid you guys all this money, so I want to go in there and look at my stuff. Right?
that happens. That shit happens.
You tell them, don't mess with it because and then they tell you, I never make any changes, right? So,
And that's bullshit. That's the bullshit detector went off. Thank you.
The bullshit detector here, right here. Create it, and then every day when it runs, if it detects any changes whatsoever, yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome. Integrated bullshit detection.
Oh, that's amazing.
Totally free. Totally free.
Totally free.
We have some questions I'm going to toss at you.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question too.
Okay. Well, we'll get to you in a second. How does Inspector Pro handle external data files?
We had this yesterday.
We did, but I think it's a different person, I think, watching today.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Let's do that again. Okay. Yes. So let me share my screen. Really, really important. Really important. Pay attention, everybody. So if you have a file, let's say this file. Actually, let me create a new file. Yeah, this file here. And okay, so I have this untitled file, and I have another external file, right? That's connected to that file. So I'll call it outside. I'll replace that one as well. And I go into here, into this file, and I have a file reference created to the external file, right? Obviously here, this thing. So I choose outside, and I say yes, I add it. So the important thing to note is that once you add this file, you will have an external data source added to here.
Sure.
And the important thing to understand, does it automatically? Do not change this name. That's all you need to do. This name has to be the same name as the external data source file name. If you call this something else, like my external data source, whatever, then it can't link to the other file with regards to external data sources, the components that are referenced from that other file. This has to be just the name of the external data source, the name of the file. That's all. And then all of it works. So like if I look at a table occurrence in here, like the one I just added, this one, it's going to tell me that table occurrence is coming from an external data source. So it knows how to link that up to that. So that's the important piece. That's all you need to know. And then when you run it, you're obviously gonna run the XML for all the files that are part of that solution, and that's taken care of by this integration add-on that we add. So like let me see here, where is it? There's some part of this process XML script that when you make changes to it, right? So down here, all you do is you just call this script. You copy this script in every other file, and you just call that script in every other file with this parameter, and then that's all you need to do. And then the inspector just generates the XML, because that's what that script does. It generates the XML for each of those other files. It collects them together in one place, and then it tells inspector, go process it. So that's it. Hope that answers the question.
There you go, Lazarus. Where is the AI summary generated? Are you sending your script to an AI service? Or are you sending it to OpenAI? Question mark.
Yes, right now it's you can probably choose the different vendors from that pop-up and when you create the solution. And so right now it's OpenAI for the endpoint. You set up your account, your API key, and you're good. So like when you set up a solution, you're basically enabling AI for script summary and semantic search. Note that disabled steps are not sent to AI so that you're getting a summary of only active steps. And so you put in your account name, your API key here, and that's it. So don't confuse your chat token API key if there is one or account versus your OpenAI account. Some people I think they got that confusion but it's your OpenAI account credentials API key. And as you set it up here, and then once it's part of the solution, then when you run it, it'll do some post processing and take each of the scripts text, like I showed you, like it takes the step text. So we're not sending the XML because the XML would be a lot heavier to send and use up more tokens. So we're generating a English version, English friendly version of the script with all its components to AI, and then AI generates this as a response. And then we take this and generate an embedding based on that. And then you can search across all your scripts for semantic meaning of your scripts. So hope that answers that question.
There you go. That's awesome. I'm going to ask the one last question, then you can do your question, RC. Should this be run on a separate server, or is this light enough to be put on the main FileMaker server?
Right now, it's designed to work in tandem with your development files. So you have a dev server, you put Inspector on the dev server along with your development files. And that's the best way to use it. That's the most optimal way to use it. And you can set up a script schedule if you don't want to run it manually. So that's the best way to do it.
And then one snuck in there. Will there be a Windows version of Inspector?
I know people get upset when I say yes, so I won't say yes, but I say we're still working on it. So it's been a hard meeting deadlines and getting some issues that we've been dealing with Windows for a long time. So I won't say we're getting close, but we're still on track to do it. So
okay, so I have a question. So I decided that I was ignore what you said and try to install it anyway.
Oh.
And so, but I have it running locally. I'm having your Inspector Pro 9 running locally on my Mac.
On 22?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you have it running locally.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
so then just
okay.
Open up a file.
All right. Hang on. I want to
share your screen.
Here. This is me trying to do this for real, everyone. I got a really big screen. Everyone freak out. Don't panic. This is the database. I'm adding a solution. So this is my database, and this is your window, and I just gave it a name. Do I need to do anything else here, or not really?
No, you can just leave that.
Solution file name, maybe.
Yeah. Just copy the window name of just copy the window name as it is there, and just put it in the solution file name.
Okay.
So
there's the difference. There we go. So you got that. So that has what else?
Oh, the where it says general, you can name it anything you want.
This one over here.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. So you can call it my first analysis or whatever, my first solution.
Here we go. It's called my first grease job. All right, here we go. We're gonna. There we go. We're gonna create. Now hit create. Now what happens now? Does it work? Going to do anything?
No.
Notification script could not run or be found with the current access privileges.
Okay, that's because Inspector uses notifications, Mac OS notifications, and in your settings, in your Apple menu settings for notifications for FileMaker, they're not turned on. So that's why you're getting that message.
How do I turn those on?
Go to Apple. Go to Apple menu.
Uh-huh.
Settings, system settings.
Okay.
Type in notifications at the top. Notifications.
Okay.
And then choose FileMaker in that list. Okay. And then turn on at the top there.
The very
right.
top. The
Oh,
very
that
top.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes care of that problem.
Okay.
So
great.
now just click the little arrow.
That one.
Okay. So yeah, click that arrow.
Okay.
And then go to window names. Go to window names.
Okay.
Okay, because you have it locally here.
Mhm.
So you can say set that as the default and just
Okay.
type in the field at the bottom where it says window names.
Okay.
What is the
Carson.
window name? Carson Secure Transport CRM.
Transport CRM. Okay.
Okay.
And we hit
And then
run.
run it. And then just let it run. And now it's saving the saving the XML right now. And now it's gonna start processing it. It will take a little while, and the screen doesn't do as good a job when it's on client. When it's on server, you get more of a progress update. You know, so it's really meant to be hosted, and you get and it runs in the background. Right now, it's doing it. It's processing it, and you might see some intermittent import dialogues come up at some point, but just let it run and. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's not too hard. So important to everyone. One is go to their website, sign up, download it, put your email in correctly. I did that incorrectly a little bit ago. They will mail you your credentials, but they're free. I copy and pasted them in the credentials in here. I'm running 22 dot whatever. I haven't run the update from today. So there's a new update from today. And then I downloaded your solution, which went over into the folder over here. And then I double click this, and the username and password for that is in the quick start instructions. So it wouldn't work. It asked me your username and password. I'm like, man, this sucks. And I said, well, read the instructions. So you start reading down here, and then it talks about setting this up on server if you're going to go that route. And then there's your password. Then here's your username and password here. So I'm like, so of course I just want everything to work magically, like read my mind is like magically just work. So, but yeah, this is pretty awesome. And so my first grease job is processing. It's good that you let us know that it might spin. You might beach ball.
It's we need to do a better job with some progress updates on when you run it locally. But again, like I said, on the server you get the progress info kind of updating.
If nothing else, I just throw a dialogue saying you're going to see beach ball. Don't panic. Come back in 20 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Alec, we're just creating work for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, all right.
We got someone else to handle that stuff. I just do the Git stuff.
Well, it's nothing like the people on live TV in front of thousands of people trying out your software and saying that it actually works, which is really it should be scary for you, but also highly rewarding if you're reasonably competent, right? Which you are. So,
yeah.
Because I want to get to the snitch mode, so I can have it snitch whenever Margaret makes a code error. Because I would never make a code error ever. I'm perfect every time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, everyone. Any other questions we have? We do have to let grease job land the airplane, and a perfect landing is called a grease job. That is an official term.
Really?
Oh yeah.
No way.
Well, the FAA doesn't call it a grease job; they call it a landing where people don't die. But yes, it's when you butter it on, it's real smooth. It's a grease job. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I am flabbergasted that this is free. The FM community is just built different. Thank you so much. Extremely cool. I can't wait to use this. Thank you, Beezwax, RCC, and Margs. Oh.
Yeah. And so Alec and Vince, thank you guys for building this. I'm going to use it. And then probably tomorrow about this time, I'll be cussing your name when it does something unexpected and unsavory, but that's okay.
All right.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thank you. Vince, you'll be back tomorrow with Hansa, right?
Yeah, that's right.
For go-to list of records adventures. I'm excited for. That's a really cool
new script. All right. Thank you for having us, Richard. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks so much. It's been fun.
Bye.